Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Happy Gate Crypto here. So let's dive into a update pretty much on exactly what does the burn tax. And a lot of people are asking this, and it's quite easily that people just read certain little blobs of certain things and then go from there, but this definitely isn't the right proposal, so let me get us there. So it does state in Ed's Agora text, and if you don't know what an Agora text is, whenever you make a proper proposal, you need to create an Agora text to go with it, so to speak. Now, if we get all the way up to the top, here we go. So, transactions affected by the tax: message send, message multi-send, message execute, message swap send, message initiate contract, message execute contracts. Now, as you can see, each one says next to it exactly what it does. A message send is sending from one wallet to another. A message multi-send is sending from multiple senders or to multiple receivers, only taxed once. Message execute, bundled DApp and smart contract transactions, each bundled is a TX, is passed and taxed. Message swap send, swapping then send to another wallet, that will be taxed. So all of this will be taxed, by the way, folks. So a message initiate contract, creating a new smart contract, you'll be taxed on that. Message execute contract, smart contract transactions will be taxed. So there's an example here as to, you know, what will be taxed and what wouldn't be taxed. So Binance to Binance off chain, no tax unless this internally forces them to move cold to hot wallet. On-chain to Binance taxed, on-chain to other CEX taxed, Binance to on-chain taxed, other CEX to on-chain is taxed, on-chain to on-chain, this is a message send, also taxed, delegate to validators not taxed, undelegate from validators not taxed, withdraw rewards from a validator is not taxed, voting on governance proposals is not taxed, and proposing new governance proposals is also not taxed. Swapping Lunc from UST is currently disabled but not taxed. Other taxes may apply, of course. So there in itself has a really good explanation of what will and what won't get taxed. Now, having the deposits and withdrawals taxed on other exchanges, so let's do Binance for example, any withdrawals or deposits made from this wallet will be taxed, okay? So any coins that are sent from this wallet to Terra Station would have been taxed anyway, but it's all of their other wallets, and we can see these wallets in the whitelisting, and I'm going to do a separate video on exactly what wallets are going to be taxed, and we're going to try compose a list pretty much of all of the exchanges wallets and try get them to be as transparent as possible with all these different wallets they're going to be taxing or applying just the deposits and withdrawals tax. So it's quite funny because they're like, we support the 1.2%, but they're not saying we support, you know, the 1.2% on all transactions. So it's funny seeing them word things as to, you know, suit how they feel at that moment in time. From what we do know, each exchange is going to be gauging and gathering data, figuring out if this is going to kill their transactional volume, if it's going to kill the usage of using LUNACLASSIC on their CEX, so to speak, and they're going to see how other CEX reacts. And it's all kind of just, we need to allow them breathing space right now. We've asked a lot from them and we've got a lot from them, and they do need breathing space, and we need to allow this burn tax to carry itself out and actually start providing data before we start poking fingers and pointing fingers at loads of people saying they should implement this, that and the other, they're traitors. And you know, it's all kind of just, let's stay on point, let's always be polite, let's apply pressure but apply it politely, and it's always key to do that. Now, if you don't know this, Akbar has come out, and I don't really know this person too well, to be quite honest, but from what I was made aware of, hang on, if I go, oh no, maybe if I can get it from Terra Rebels Discord, maybe. I think it was an announcement for a restructure. Yeah, so there was a restructure of Terra Rebels. And as you can see, if we go down to, I'm sure this person's in here. Maybe not. Maybe this was when they did the kind of restructure, so to speak. But anyway, Akbar's come out. He was a pretty, solid member of Terror Rebels, so to speak, and he was part of the same sort of group that I was part of, and he seems to be, coming out with loads of reasons as to why he's left and stuff. But one of the main reasons that he's left is due to marketing and stuff like that, and I totally understand his point. And community members going and telling him to tell the truth and stuff like that, I think he is telling the truth, because at the end of the day, there's sometimes you just can't, like, he's more than likely hashed all of this out with them in private, and they've just sort of been like, meh, same was kind of what they did with me. But it's it's another person coming out saying they've had issues with the marketing team, so to speak, and it's really sad to see more and more people having the same issues that I did, and I'm sure I was even mentioned somewhere under all of this. This is what caught my attention to it. So I think even Ed stated, Rexy started talking to you about some ideas, and I made it very clear that there cannot be any profit made on hosting the nodes. So it's really interesting to see all this, but what I say to people is, realistically, don't see this and think everything's falling apart, because it's not. And this is the only reason I'm addressing it. It's public. This person's made it public. People are coming to me asking for what's going on and stuff. And some people get treated like crap, and I was one of those people, and I was lied to, I was disrespected, I was made to believe that I wasn't needed and stuff like that. So, and these people that Akbar have had problems with are the same people, like he's stating, I've had problems with, and they were supposed to have been punished, but then they never was, and they were just put in higher positions for what they did. So, if Akbar's coming out and leaving Terror Rebels, then I need to address it, because of the sheer fact that it's public, and like loads of people in my own community asking me what's actually going on inside Terror Rebels, and I just don't know about all of this kind of like drama and bickering and stuff like that. The last time I sort of got involved in anything like this was when Raider threw me under the bus and made me do a video and all kinds of stuff, and I just thought, you know what? I'm not getting involved in people's arguments back and forth with each other of he said, she said, and this, that, and the other. I'm just here to provide positive forward momentum for the movement. And we have our own kind of, projects that we're working on. I'm working on a project of 500 NFTs that are due to be released around the same time as our node. I aim to provide staking for them via our node. And it's just so many things that I'm working on to help better the community, instead of sitting there bickering and going, he said, she said, they said, we said. I'm just here to help push this all along, push adoption, push education of crypto in general. And I totally get all of these people when they do come out and do this and stuff like that. I really do, because I had to come out and come clean, because a lot of people were like, they kicked him out of Terror Rebels, and that never ever was the case. I left off my own accord, as most of you know. If you didn't know that, you do know that now. So we've got 45 days, 9 hours, 55 minutes and 32 seconds and counting until the node launches. This is absolutely amazing, because for you folks, the next step is the burn tax. Now, I understand the burn tax truly, wholly and solely, and I understand that it's happening. It's going to happen. CEXs are now jumping on board, whether it be small or large. Things are happening. So my main focus now is pushing utility, trying to get more people to come over and use this amazing blockchain that we've got, this amazing technology. And I see a lot of people coming out going, I created the burn tax, or I'm solely responsible for this, I did that, this, that, and the other. And don't worry about people like that, folks. I understand it irritates you, but don't worry about it. Just leave them to say what they need to say. If they feel they need to state that, then that's down to them. I'm just here to move things along and not get involved in, who's responsible for what. We're just here for the community, and that's the end of it. I'm not interested in being famous or getting loads of money and stuff like that. I'm just here for the community. It's as simple as that. Folks, stay safe out there, okay? Don't panic about any of this TR stuff. It's normal to see people coming out and saying, well, there is issues with this department and stuff like that. It's totally normal, and things change as time goes on. And to see that you know, there's some sort of profit scheme that's going on inside Terror Rebels. And even Ed, like I showed you from that screenshot, saying he's not going to be part of any profit taken and stuff like that. It just goes to show how, you know, things aren't quite what they seem, but it doesn't mean things are falling apart. At the end of the day, there's 4 people that I know to be working on this, you know, the code and stuff like that. That's Ed, that's Zada, Marventus, and Vegas. That's it. And I think, you know, Vegas more on the front end standpoint of validators and things like that. Really good update coming from Deploy Starship, which is not going to be called Deploy Starship in a couple of weeks, because, you know, a lot of, as you know, if you've watched the videos, they had their own internal issue with someone trying to claim that they owned it all, and it looked kind of crazy. So there will be an update coming from you guys soon. All I can say is good resolution. You know, if you want to get out of it, get a refund, you'll be able to. If you want to stay on board, convert your current lands you have into the new lands, and maybe possibly something a little bit extra, then you can. You've got both choices, and that's the great thing about, you know, when something goes wrong, having solutions. Okay, right, so we can get a refund, or we can get the new lands. Okay, cool, awesome. Just let us know when we can do that, and that is coming soon, folks. Hang in there. And yeah, like I was saying before I started just going off on another rant, so to speak, stay safe out there, okay? Beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, anybody pretending to be me. I will not DM you, okay? Remember, I will not DM you. Go over to my Twitter and DM me there. I'll either respond to you there. If I don't respond to you there, go to my Telegram, join, at me, and I will appear to answer your questions or answer any problems that you have. Folks, remember, it's not financial advice. I can't stress that enough. And we'll catch you in the next one. If you haven't tapped the like, tap the like on the way out. Give us a little subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Sure.